Now live. And so now I gotta make
Good
sure.
morning, Gold Hooves.
Good morning. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
So now we're just doing the technical support theater part where we make sure that my post
Okay.
is visible to everybody, and then we can get going. And let's see here. All right, here we go. It popped up a little faster this time. Thank goodness. Made it public. And we are off to the races. We did it. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in one more time. We're going to be, I don't think we're going to be on a set schedule on this one, but my mom likes hanging out with me while we play World of Warcraft together. So we're going to keep this up, right, Mom?
Right.
And so if you're looking for a schedule, I'm not going to be able to give you one, but we're going to do this whenever we can. So turn on your notifications on YouTube or Twitch. And I'm also going to be editing these and publishing them. The first batch I'm going to publish on Mother's Day because I think that would be cute.
Oh, that's nice.
And we'll go through. So last time we did episode 1, we did like a deep dive into like what MMOs are, right? And we talked about World of Warcraft, like some rough information about its history. We went through kind of an inventory of my huge army of characters. At least we went through 4 of them. I think it would take us all day if we went through all of them. But then we created Gold Hooves, which is my mom's Draenei mage, and we went to Exile's Reach and started leveling up. If you're ready to hop in, Mom, let's just hop in and we can chit chat while we run around and do some stuff. When last we played, we were dealing with this horde of undead, and we were trying to rescue the ship captain's son. And we were trying to figure it out. And the last thing we did before we got a little distraction, thankfully everything was fine, is I took this gnome's equipment and we were figuring out how to, embiggen rams or boars, and we didn't know what was going to happen. So now we're going to see what that does. You should be getting game audio this time, Mom. So let me know.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Let me know if you don't. I'll do some stuff that would make some noise. Like I'll come and shoot a fireball at these guys. Or a frostbolt. Hey, back up.
Yep, I hear sound from the game.
Okay, so you're hearing the frostbolt?
The things that are red is what I'm after.
Yep, the things that are red are the things that I targeted and have aggroed.
And I have the 3 skills that are down on the left.
Yep.
I can shoot a fireball or a frost, and then the third one is it freezes the whole area. It spreads out.
Yep.
Okay. And I have to be far back to use that one.
Yeah, you want to. Well, the Frost Nova, the one that freezes around you, that one is if they're up close. Let me show you.
Okay. I got it backwards.
No, that's okay. So Frost Nova does one of these things. See how it's got ice at its feet?
Yep.
So this is why I can Frost Nova it, and then it will be stuck. And I mean, it doesn't last forever, but and we talked about cooldowns, so
right. I have to wait for it to fill up again.
Mm-hmm. But now watch this.
Okay.
This is the fun little tech. So we Frost Nova this guy. Oop, I got 2 of them, and then I used the blink, and now I'm far away. But then I kind of messed up because I fought 2 of them. It's not too tough. Well, we're okay.
All that red is their blood?
Yeah. Well, a little bit of it is me.
Oh, good.
Because I am taking some damage. I'm going to use my racial ability to heal myself. I do have that. Oh. And this friend came and saved me.
Because I'm a mage?
Yep.
Woo!
If you look down in the chat, that guy, he bowed before me. So he saw me in a little bit of trouble. And that was another player. So that's one of the, remember in the beginning when I talked about, like, sometimes, like, I don't join a party with people or, I don't, like, quest with them, but we play together, right?
Right.
Where we will, we'll have, like, these little interactions. And one of the things you can do is if you click on somebody, you can do, like, you have different little actions you can do. So, like, he bowed for me. Right? So, like, a bow is, we do that, right?
Okay. So he saw you were in trouble and helped you?
Yeah. He saw that I was fighting, I'm a mage, and he saw that I was fighting 2 boar. He might have been wondering why the heck I did that, because you're not really supposed to attack boar in this area right now, but whatever. He saw him, and he stopped and helped me out. And this is another player.
Okay.
Brutzi is the
you mentioned a chat feature. I don't see it on the screen. Where's the chat feature?
On the bottom left. It's going to be hard to see.
Because I can't read any. Bottom left. Okay. I cannot read that. It's too little for me to see on my laptop.
Let's see what we can do. I made it a little bigger, but you can also see so there is a chat. I made it a little bigger, but you're right. You're probably not going to be able to see it. But you can kind of see the animation. So, like, I can wave at people.
I sure can.
And I can bow to people. And I use cheer a lot, which is, you hit them and you type slash, and then you type the word. And so I like to cheer.
Woo! Yahoo!
And you do that with your keyboard?
Yep, I type it.
Oh, you type it.
Yeah,
Wave is you just.
I literally type the slash key, and then so I'll put it in the chat, and then I can put it up on the screen. So I'll hit like slash wave, and if I do that, then it will wave at whoever I am targeting. Oh, hi, Duggar.
Oh, check that out. That's a good one too, because it's right near the WASD keys that you use to move around.
Yep, and I do that a lot. Or we'll do a bow. Hi, Duggar. And and so everybody kind of has their favorites, but I do a lot of cheering. Like, as I run by people, if they're doing cool stuff, I'll throw a cheer at them. And okay, so let's do some quests. So what I'm supposed to be doing right now is use the Resizer version 9.0 and test it on wandering boars. So I need to get within range. And again, you see how my mouse goes from this little pointy finger thing to this? In fact, you know what? I actually was suggested to fix something. So bear with me. I'm going to go into the game options.
Okay.
And
controls, accessibility, system.
One of the things that you can do is you can make the cursor bigger.
Oh.
So I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Do you have a little bit of an easier time seeing it now?
Yeah, that's great.
And so now I'm a little closer. And so the little hand turned into the quest item. And this is as simple as now I know I'm within range to use the Resizer V9.0. And so then I click him and I pull out the little alien laser gun thing, and then we see what happened. And it disappeared. That's not what was supposed to happen. I was supposed to make it bigger. Let's find another one. Click this one. Well, that was not what was supposed to happen. Let's try again. We're supposed to try it on 3.
Okay.
Now I got to find another one because I've killed a bunch of them. And I don't want to hit these deer. Although I really just, I feel like if I hit one of them, I will make them all mad, and that would be bad.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is intentional to kind of teach you a lesson. So, like, if there's a bunch of animals moving in a herd, you don't want to attack one of them.
Okay.
Then they'll all come and It gets you. Here I am. I'm in range. Shoot him with the little alien laser gun. Oh boy.
Oh
It
boy.
worked. It got bigger. But I know my quest is done.
Do we want him? Do we want him to be bigger?
Yeah, because the idea is this gnome guy. His plan is to make him bigger so I can actually ride it.
Oh,
You'll see. It's going to be kind of cool. This next bit.
okay.
So we have all right. So we have a quest from Captain Garrick, and we know it's important to her. She wants to save her son. So
Yes.
so resizing the situation, I never thought I'd be so relieved to be face to face with a giant, scientifically enhanced boar. Let's go save my son, and then we know we got the rewards now. So I'm going to complete her quest in a level. Now we're level 7. And so ride the scientifically enhanced boar. We don't know how long the resizing will last. Let's get moving. We're going to ride this giant boar and mow down the army of undead between us and Henry. The
Oh,
large ones are pulsing with dark magic. If we kill them, I bet they'll take out any enemies near them. Hopefully, Henry will know more about whatever the ogres are planning. So the quest objectives are ride the giant boar, destroy the undead army, and then we get some.
okay.
But we did
All
get
of the people in green are those are your crewmates, right? That are working with
these
you.
are the people that were on the boat. Yeah.
Okay. They're not people who are also
They're not
fighting.
And you can tell because they are, one of the ways you can tell is because they're standing still. Like with the exception of Captain Garrick, who is kind of following me,
Yeah.
these guys are standing still and not moving. Generally speaking, players
Gotcha.
are nuts and are like jumping.
Right.
and-
There's no reason to just watch. They're doing.
yeah, exactly. They're doing stuff. And right now, most people playing this
Okay.
game are moving way faster than we are, and that's okay. We're taking the time. I'm telling the story. We're kind of doing this stuff. So,
You're teaching.
I'm teaching, but we're also kind of having fun together. And so I am okay with going slower. So one of the ways that you know that the boar is interactable now is that he's got this gold outline.
Okay.
You know how like these critters, unless I mouse over them, they don't have an outline, right?
Right.
And it means that and the outline is designed to kind of draw your eye to it and be like, oh, okay, so this is why I'm supposed to do something. And also, when I go over it, you see the icon is like this little
Yep.
a doop. What
Yep.
that means is you can get on it. Now, I'm going to
Oh.
hop on here. And so now we have a new interface. This is a new thing.
How did you hop?
I literally, that little arrow thing
Yeah.
is that icon means click on this thing and you can jump in this vehicle.
Okay.
So in World of Warcraft, they do occasionally, we have mounts, and I'll show you that in a little bit because I'm going to get one soon. But they have vehicles, which are
Gotcha.
essentially like special controls. They're like little mini games very often, right? And so this is a little mini game where I'm going to control this ram, but you'll notice that I don't have the same buttons, right? I only have one, and it is trample. So when I press this,
Oh.
I command the giant boar to charge forward, increasing its speed and sending any undead in its way flying into the air.
Gotcha.
So the way they use vehicles is they're like special quests, and they're mini games, and it basically is an excuse to do different stuff. And so this quest is to teach us how vehicles work. So we've got this giant horde of undead. I'm on this massive, crazy boar. Now we're just going to go. So I'm going to press 1 and rush through it. And see, they said the big one is like oozing with energy.
Yep.
And so we're going to boom. And now
And that's what you do is you run into them.
Yep. Well, he's a big boar. We want to get rid of it. And when I hit them, he blows up with bad energy and blows up all the little zombies around him.
Gotcha.
And now we're just going to kind of... And I could just bump into these guys and just trample them, right? But
Right.
the quest doesn't work until I get all these monstrous cadavers ran over. So now it's done, and it stops. And now it's going to have me hop off.
And the boar's going to get small again.
Oh, and now it gets extra tiny. Oop. Accidentally blinked. So I'm in the. I know that if I had just stayed there, it would have stayed big the whole time. But basically, as soon as you finish the quest objective, you get kicked off the vehicle, and then the bore turns smaller. But there really isn't an actual time. So now we
what's
got
going on inside that ring?
Well, I mean, we did from the cinematic the other day. We know that this is Henry, her son, and he is somehow here, and we know there's an ogre inside that's doing some stuff. So I know that I need to. So I'm here, and now I got to look at my objectives. And over here, you probably can't read it, but there were 3 objectives. It wants me to ride the boar, slay the 8 monstrous cadavers, and then kill Torgok. And so Torgok is this guy inside this tower.
Okay.
And he's, you see this blue-green energy that's popping over to him. We know he's draining Henry's life force. We do not like this.
No, not at all.
I'm gonna hit him with a frostbolt over and over and over again. And then
you choose frost instead of fire. Why?
So I start with frost because
Mother.
So I choose frost first.
I tried to fight
because frost has a farther range.
Henry,
and
always remember that you are more than your mistakes.
Actually, wait, no, the range is the same.
Now,
but
Private Garrick,
I choose frost
I want a full situation report.
If I hit a guy with frostbolt from far away, it does damage, which is good, but it slows them down. So, because immediately, as soon as I hit him, you notice he started walking towards me, right?
Right, exactly, right.
And so let me pretend to be him, right? So I'm in here. And so, pretend, you're out there. So
right.
If he had cast the fire blast on me first, yeah, it would do some damage, but the fire blast just does damage. And it's on a 14-second cooldown, meaning I can't cast it right away. And so,
you'd be dead.
Yeah, exactly. What would happen is I would hit him. Well, you know what? Since he respawns so fast, let's try it the other way. So now I'm here, and I hit him with the fire blast, and now he's already running. And see how before I hit him with the other spell, I'm moving the camera, he's already closer to me?
Right, right.
And so now he's actually able to hit me. And so one of the other things that is important to note is so Frostbolt takes 2 seconds to cast, right? And this is kind of like starting to think about how the game works.
Right.
If he doesn't know I'm there yet, right? Like if I haven't hit him yet, I get that 2 seconds of time to cast a spell before he knows. So it's almost like free damage,
Gotcha.
So it's, we call that pulling in the game. So like the idea is there's going to be all these mobs being monsters, right? They're going to be all over the place. And the thing with a mage is I need to do as much damage as I can before they start hitting me. Because, I mean, I think it's safe to say this dress is very pretty, very classy and stylish, but it's not going to do much when a guy's punching me in the belly.
No, it's not going to protect you.
Exactly. The mage is like their big trick is they're not very defensive, right? And so it's easy to kill a mage when you get in close. The trick is they have lots of ways to stop you from getting in close, and frost is one of the ways to do that. The other way is to just kill you before you can get there. So that's why I start with frost.
And can I blink away?
Oh, you could absolutely.
I can blink away from it. Okay.
Yeah. So let's try that again.
And
right?
blink is that one on the far right.
Yep. Blink is this one. Okay. So let's say, it's good that this guy spawns back in. So we can have some examples. He's spawning in so fast, his dead bodies. So let's say he's in melee and he's punching me, and I'm like, oh goodness. Now he rooted me, so what that means is I'm stuck to the ground. That's bad.
Oh geez, that's bad.
I freeze him, and then I blink. And now I'm far away, and he's still stuck.
Gotcha.
Now he does have a ranged attack because he's his own kind of wizard, which sucks. But we're okay. And so I did take some damage. This is my life bar down here. You see how it's a little. I might actually make it a little bit bigger. But it is. My life bar is pretty small. And let
And that's the life bar for Gold Hooves, right?
Yes. You know what? I can't edit
Right, okay.
I can't edit my interface yet. They haven't let me turn that on. But when I can, I'll make my player frame bigger and move it up so you can see it.
Okay.
So you can have a better idea. But like I was taking damage. So the other idea is once he's dead, I can just sit down and eat a cookie.
Right.
Admittedly, my cookie looks like bread. But that's just
Yes,
because
your
the
cookie
spelling.
looks like bread. Review for me again the 4 squares on the right, what they are.
All right, so this one is Conjure Refreshment. Basically, what I can do is I can cast, I can use that, and it creates a kind of food for me that I can use outside of combat to restore my health, which is my hit points, and then my mana, which is this blue bar. Again, I'll make it bigger in a little bit. The blue bar is my mana. That I spend that to cast my spells. So, like, if I run out of mana, I can't cast any spells. So I have to kind of manage some of that.
Okay.
And this one is Blink, which you know. We've talked about that a bunch. I use it all the time. You'll probably see me use it a lot more, especially since the map is about to get very spread out.
Yeah.
And then this one is Gift of the Naru, which is a Draenei. Remember, you're a Draenei. That's the race. That's a racial ability. So basically, I can heal the target or myself for 20% of my total health over 5 seconds. So basically, it'll give me a small amount of healing. And so what I should do is anytime I get hit, just hit that racial button and then heal myself. Because it's, nobody else has one. And it's just a little thing to kind of keep yourself in the fight. If that makes sense.
And the one that's in between nourishing you and blinking, that one that looks like a little teddy bear to me.
That is a cookie. And so that is the food that I conjure with my Conjure Refreshment.
Okay.
I'll make this bar bigger
the one next to it is a cookie. Okay.
When I can redo the UI, which I think it opens up relatively soon, when I can do that, because we're still in the tutorial mode, they don't want people messing around, I will make all this stuff bigger so that you can see more of the stuff on your screen. I think it'll be better for teaching. And then we'll make it smaller later when you get really comfortable with it.
Right. I just kind of, I'm just trying to learn what's available to me.
Yeah, man. This is teaching, like there's a lot. The thing about this game is it is mechanically complex. There's a lot. And, it's interesting the stuff that you take for granted as somebody who's been playing this game for my entire adult life, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Like I've been playing this game since before I had kids. So, and like Jake has started playing. He wants to play with his brother. And like the stuff that he does or doesn't know to do, even though he plays, and Jake plays games all the time, right? Like there are games that he knows stuff about in like super minute detail that I don't have a clue about. But then there's stuff that he just doesn't know how to do. Like he didn't know that he was supposed to check his equipment to see if he was getting upgrades. Or, he didn't know that he was supposed to do side quests, like quests that didn't have this shield around them. And, because like there's treasure there. And, so he just didn't know. So it's really, it's okay to ask questions.
Now this is interesting. You're getting a quest from Henry and not from Captain.
Well,
am I seeing that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we saved Henry, her son.
Yeah.
And so we, so in this case, we just have it just so happens I rescued him, so he's the one that has the next quest. It's generally speaking, if we're rescuing someone, the person that we're rescuing will be the person that gives us the quest after we. So we rescued Henry, and he says, "Thank you, stranger. I thought I was going to be punished for failing to save my friends. I'm relieved that I was mistaken. And when I complete the quest, I actually get a staff, a new staff that will be kind of cool. So I'm going to complete the quest."
Yes, Mother. Captain Garrick.
Oh.
The ogres are using necromancy to raise a dragon from the dead. They need sacrifices like us to fuel their magic. They're about to start a ritual. It's already begun. They're going to use the life force they gathered to reanimate the dragon.
Then we need to move quickly. Recruit Private Garrick. The Alliance never gives up hope, even in the face of disaster. We'll put a stop to these rituals before the ogres can complete them. Let's go.
Wow. So is that the cinematic portion you were talking about?
Well, I tend. Oh, here's another guy. There's two guys. So you see how you can tell he's a player because he's kind of moving around real slow, kind of exploring things. He does not know that you can't just walk through that gate. And this guy's obviously just chilling. So I hesitate to call that a cinematic just because that means something specific. Oh,
But it's a higher quality graphic.
Yeah, exactly. Like the cinematics for World of Warcraft, I think of the cinematics as like the big bombastic, like the trailers, the ones that I sent you on YouTube. We call those cutscenes, where they cut the game and we get a little scene. I mean, realistically, that's kind of splitting hairs.
Yep.
And Marie is watching.
Oh, you want me to move? Hold on just 1 second.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Do you want me to move to the other room so that you can have the TV?
If you want, I'm doing other stuff.
Say yes or no.
Okay, yes.
Okay, I'm going to move to the other
That's
room
okay.
so Dad, because Dad's just, poor guy's just sitting here. Okay, I'm just going to move though. I'm going to leave.
Yeah. Your camera is off, so you can go wherever you need to go.
It on. I'm just
Say hi. Yeah, that's fine. Say hi to Dad for me.
Hi, Steve.
Hi. Killing ogres with Mom.
Yeah, we're killing ogres.
What
did you do, Saturday? Oh, that'll give you the remote.
The huge, right?
And that's probably ground zero right now, between factions of the house right now, trying to get an agreement.
I'm sorry, it unmuted when I handed him the remotes. It hit the unmute button.
That's okay, Mom.
So that was that
Don't worry about
interference. Sorry about that.
it. That is okay. We all kind of know.
Okay.
Everybody watching kind of knows what we're in for, right? We're kind of, I'm the streamer house.
We're being a family trying to do it together.
Yep, exactly. We're doing good.
Okay.
So, and my friend Marie is watching. So,
Maria.
Marie, not Maria. They are
Marie,
different
I'm
people.
sorry.
No, that's okay. Marie's my friend from college. Well, you've met Marie.
Right.
So she actually responded to one of the things. She said any NPC could give you a quest. So an NPC is all these guys, right?
Right.
So like I'm a PC. I'm a player character. These guys are NPCs. These are non-player characters.
Okay.
And she's right. It's so far, it's been very, 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 very direct. Like this is a very curated experience, right?
Yeah.
Where they're kind of guiding us through, showing us different kind of quests we can have. And like really everything is meant to teach you something about the game. But like when we get out of this and go to, one of the expansions, we're going to go and like finish in the level. We're going to go to the Dragonflight expansion and like play through that. You're going to see a lot more NPCs doing a lot more different stuff. So like this is a very controlled, limited experience. It's meant to really expose you. So now we're at a camp, and so we have a quest from Captain Garrick, and so we're gonna get going. So stocking up on supplies. Quartermaster Richter was able to scavenge supplies from the wreckages on the island. Why don't you visit her and see if she has anything you need? You'll want to be well equipped for whatever we encounter next. And so it'll say purchase any item from Quartermaster Richter and sell any of your items to her. So now they're gonna have me go find the Quartermaster, who is this blonde lady right here.
Okay.
We're going to teach her, and this is teaching you how to use vendors, because there's NPCs that will sell you stuff. And so if I click on her, you notice the icon turns into this bag, and so then she has things that we can buy. I don't need food. This jerky here, if I wasn't a mage, I would buy this so I would have something to heal. But I'm going to buy this tabard just because it looks cool. So I buy it from her. And this is my bags down here. Sort them. And this is all the stuff that I have found. And all these ones, and so a bunch of this stuff is just junk that I don't want. And so I can actually right click it and I sell it to her. And I know it's junk because when I mouse over it, you can't really see it. I'll have to make the UI a little bit bigger, but like I know that I don't need it. Because
Okay, so this is Goldhoove's bag.
Yep, this is her bag.
Okay, and
So
so obviously I haven't been collecting these things. So these are things that were given to me at the beginning of the game.
I don't know. I mean, you've actually been, every time you kill a monster, and I'll show you next time, you actually can search the monster, like with the sparklies. And
Yeah.
some of those items were just on them when
Oh,
we had
okay.
them. You also had a few pieces of equipment that were on you, that were on the in the beginning, that we've replaced over time. So for example, like when I close her window, I can bring up our character
Okay.
card here. And so we got this staff, this new one from that quest, and I can drag it over here, and then it changed, and then you can see it actually is different on my back.
Oh, good. A staff
we
is
go
better
from-
than the plain stick.
Well, this is just, what I had in the beginning.
Right.
And then I right click, and then we have this this is called the expeditionary staff. So we just have a different one. And you can't see it. Again, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger when we get to edit the UI, but this one is just a better staff that has more stuff in it. And and now I can put the tabard on.
And then that'll protect me a little bit.
The tabard is just for decoration,
Oh, okay.
but I put it on and now I have the Alliance. I'm wearing the Alliance jersey.
Oh, with the
tabards
lion.
are just for looks.
Okay.
But what I am
But they're
gonna do-
cool. They
But
have
they are, I
value
mean-
because they're cool.
Yeah, they are cool. I mean,
So whenever you go to a quartermaster, you sell the things that you don't need and look for what has the most value to purchase.
yeah, mostly.
Okay.
90%.
We earned that did you call it, what did you call it? This thing on her back.
The staff, the
The
expeditionary
staff.
staff.
We earned this staff at the last challenge, right?
That was
the
the
last
reward for killing the ogre guy.
Right. Okay. So we didn't have to buy that. We already had
We
that.
did not. 99 times out of 100, we're going to get our gear upgrades from killing monsters and completing quests.
Okay.
Like 99 times out of 100, that's how we're going to
Okay.
do stuff. And most of the time when we go to vendors, unless we're going with like a specific reason, we're going to just be emptying our bags of the stuff that we have.
Okay.
So I stocked up on supplies. I did that quest, and now she's back, and she says all stocked up. That's great. Private Cole and Quartermaster Richter also found this bag in the nearby ruins. They thought you might make good use of it. And so I'm going to complete the quest. She's going to give me a new bag, and I don't know if you noticed, but my bag over here got bigger. And what happens is, like, I only have so many bags, right? So, like, I have my backpack, and then I've picked up these smaller bags along the way.
Okay.
And so you see these little squares? Each
Yeah.
square is an item that I can carry before I run out of room. So, like, getting bigger bags means that I would be able to carry more stuff, which is useful for a bunch of other stuff. And we'll find that out as we go. So
Okay.
that quest reward was another bag, the standard
Gotcha.
issue knapsack.
Okay.
Okay, so I completed that quest. And so now what's interesting is we have some choices, because if you look on the map, there's a couple of quests here. And now we have the first time where we have a quest that doesn't have this little shield around it. There's a quest over here.
Side
that
quest.
is a side quest. And so I'm actually going to go to the side quest because, well, I'll do that. I'm actually going to do that later because it's on my way to the later thing. So now we're going to go, and we've got Bjorn Stouthands. Captain Garrus wants us to search west of the camp for any members of the expedition. Alaria and I will go on ahead, meet us to the west, and we'll see what we can find. So I accept it, and then they run off, and I'm going to follow them. And see the boar is still hanging out
Yep.
with the gnome.
It's
guy.
tiny.
Yep, it's tiny. And so again, you see the little diamond off in the distance, so I know where to go. This is
That
another
means
player.
you're running towards
Yep,
the quest.
yep, I am. And this is another player. This is a druid. They can turn into animals. So that is a druid in their cat form.
And he's just chilling.
Yeah, he's just chilling. He might have something going on. He might have had to move to give somebody else the TV. And so now here we are. We found this big pit, and there's stuff. Well, we know there's stuff firing out of this pit, and it's going up to the top of this castle. So that's not good. Let's talk to this guy. See what happens. So a giant pit of spiders right on our doorstep. Aren't we the lucky ones? Very sarcastic.
Yes.
But Ilaria has something to say. Who lurks in the pit? The winds whisper of people being trapped in the pit. It seems like there may be more members of the expedition within. I fear it will be up to you. Cat person's just got the zoomies, apparently. I fear it will be up to you to make the descent and save the survivors. There should be 6 in total, though the winds say that one is farther away from the others. With our luck, the last survivor is at the bottom. Good luck, Gold Hooves, and make sure no spiders follow you back out. So now we're going to go in, and we got to rescue the trapped explorers. So now we descend into the pit. Now you got to be careful because we don't want to fall.
Correct.
So I'm just moving.
So we have to kill 6, and 5 of them are fairly close, and 1 of them is separated.
Yep, well, we want to save them. So here we are. So we've got a spider.
Yeah.
So we want to deal with him. But if you see the little webbed thing that's kind of moving next to it,
Yeah.
we see this a lot. This is a person trapped in a web. So I'm gonna see how when I mouse over it, it turns into this different kind of shaped hand. I'm gonna click on that, and there was somebody in there, freed expedition member, and that's one. And see how she runs out and vanishes a little bit. So now we go deeper into the tunnel. We go.
So you've saved 1 already.
Saved 1, and I've got to save 5, and then there's going to be somebody else at the bottom of the pit that I've got to help. So if you look on the map up on the upper right, it's got this white line that tells me kind of where in general my targets are to give me an idea where to go. And these gold little circles are that's where the people are. So it gives me an idea where to go. But it's hard to miss them, right?
Yeah.
So here we go.
That one has a spider that's already dead.
Yep, well, because this guy's here, and he's a little bit ahead of me, and that's okay. I don't mind it. Oh, we got 2 little spiders. We'll get rid of them real quick. That is the advantage to playing, and see how I searched that guy, and then the window came up. Similar thing.
Yeah.
So this is
Oh.
so that guy just came in and dealt with it, and so I don't mind. I don't need to kill everything. And then we saved a 3rd one, and then we just keep moving.
Is he saving people also?
He is, but because of the way the quest works, I don't see he doesn't take these people away from me. There's like a fixed number.
He's there. They're there for both of you.
Correct. So on his screen, he's saving them, and then he's able to move on. But I don't see that.
Okay, got it. Got it.
They do that a lot in this game. Where
So the death is the death of the spider. Only one person has to do that.
Correct.
Once it's dead, it's dead. Okay.
And they do that so that it doesn't slow us down, right?
Right.
They don't want me to have to wait to finish my quest just because somebody was a few seconds ahead of me.
Right. Okay. Got it.
They don't want us fighting over the quest stuff too. So
Right.
I just freed another guy. So now I've saved 5. So now we got to see what the next step is. And it's given me, I've got that diamond. So I know that I got to go in that direction. And also this giant wave of green nasty energy is probably not helping either. And here we go. We see another person kind of getting there, kind of just like what was happening to Henry.
Yeah.
So we're coming here, and what's going on with this? This doesn't look cool. And I hear there's some text in this chat, but basically there's somebody saying, I will harvest your life force, and then those who sealed me in here shall burn. I don't know who's sealed where, but I'm going to find out. Somebody is messing with this poor night elf, though.
And you want to let him go, right?
I do. So I have
You're
to
trying
wait
to
for
free him.
whoever. Yeah, I have to wait for whoever this guy is to spawn. And I can't remember. There's nothing to click on.
So you're
there
just
he is.
trying to. Oh,
There's this guy.
you put your mouse over that square and hit and left click and it shoots it, right?
Yep. I use my button. you if you left click, you target him, and then you use your action buttons to.
Oh, action button.
Yep.
Right.
So you press the key. See how they're glowing?
Gotcha. Okay. Yep.
That's me. I don't have a target, so they don't do anything without a target.
Okay.
And so she turned into this really cool. She was a druid. She turned into this really cool like elk, and so it gives me the get on this vehicle thing.
Okay.
And so then I can hop on, and in this case, it's just gonna do it automatically, which is another option. And so now I'm just riding, and she's gonna help me escape the tunnels as they explode.
What happened to the guy that you have
Okay.
to save?
Oh, she turned into this elk. She was a druid.
Oh, he
So
was.
this
a druid.
is her.
Okay. So, it was a she that you were rescuing,
Yeah, I saved her, and she turned into this, which is
and she's right. You're riding her out.
yes, I am.
Okay. She's probably happy to give you a lift since you saved her.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're both part of the Alliance,
Right.
and she was on the boat with us, so she knows who I am. And then there we go. I hop off, and now we're done with the quest. And so they're going to start walking back to camp. And I'm going to say, you know what? Y'all have a nice leisurely trip. I am going to go to another quest. But pop over to Captain Garrett first and get this quest turned in. Ralia Dreamchaser is a druid of the Cenarian Circle, an order dedicated to protecting the wilds of Azeroth. That is true. We'll talk about them, I'm sure, later. Thank you for rescuing her. Her aid is sure to be of use against the ogres. And that's true. And then, boom, gained a level.
Level 8.
And I gained...
Am I level 8 now?
We are level 8. Yep. And so we are actually... in what we can do now is we can go back to the spell bar. We actually have some new things that we can do.
Okay.
So one of them, I'm going to put them on my bars. One of them, I don't know when I got this, but we'll talk about that in a second. So I have 3 new abilities. One of them is called Arcane Intellect. It's actually, we call it a buff. And what it is, it's a thing that I cast once every hour. I die, that increases my intellect by 3%, which makes me do more damage. So this is one of those things I cast it on myself, but it automatically casts on everybody else in my party. So like, if you group up with a mage, you know that they're going to be able to cast Arcane Intellect, which means like if you're another kind of spellcaster, like you know how I play a priest as my main character, whenever I'm hanging out with a mage and they cast Arcane Intellect on me, I have an increased intellect, which means that I heal more. And so I heal more than I would if I didn't have a mage in the party. So like it encourages you to group together, but oftentimes, mages will just run by and they'll just cast buffs on people as you run by as part of like the social part of it. So that's this buff. It's called Arcane Intellect.
Okay.
I have a thing called Counterspell, which is if I see someone is casting a spell and I'm targeting them, I can hit that button and I will actually prevent them from casting the spell. So they'll spend their time casting and I'll use Counterspell on them and it'll stop it. It'll protect me. So that's a really cool trick that mages have. And it makes sense, right? Because mages are masters of magic. And there are lots of classes that have the ability to stop people from casting, but they all do it in flavorful ways that's relevant to their class. So Marie, who's watching, she plays a hunter, right? And so she has a trick arrow that she shoots at somebody and it stops their cast. I don't remember what it's called. Or if you were playing a rogue, rogues just kick you and they stop it. In fact, it's the kick is so that's just what everybody calls it. It's just say, oh, kick that guy. And whoever has an ability to stop that power, they'll do it. And so, but mages, that's their thing. And they can do it at range because it's, they can do it from far away, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And the last one is invisibility, which this one has a really long cooldown. But what it does is you turn invisible. And while you're invisible, enemies can't see you, and it lasts 20 seconds. So if you want to sneak by stuff, you can turn invisible and sneak past them.
Gotcha.
And so that's kind of neat. So
one more time, the actual mechanism that you use to click on those squares, you use the mouse to hover over it.
Yep.
And then to use it, do you use what do you do?
I'm using my keyboard.
Your keyboard.
Yep. So this is they call them binds. So this button right here is bound to my 1. So if you look at your keyboard, you know where your W, A, S, and D are. So this one is 1, and this one is 2, and this one is 3, and this one is 4. Now, technically, I could also click these buttons with my mouse if I wanted to. And that's okay, right? There are some of these that I do click, right? You see me hit this one, and I'm clicking this one because I'm putting my mouse on it. So, technically, you can click these buttons. But, the best way to do it is to use
Gotcha. Because it's quicker.
And you want your mouse to be kind of around doing stuff, choosing different targets.
Right. And you're using WASD to move to the box. You're not using your mouse to move to the box.
This right here is my mouse.
Okay. So you're using your mouse to get to the square, and then you're using for the weapons part, the 1, 2, 3, 4 buttons to use them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is me just moving the camera around, and I'm walking around. But then 1, 2, 3, 4. This is once I target somebody, casting my spell. These work on guys. So we got another quest over here. I'm going to go talk to Henry.
Okay.
Henry and Keela. And we'll see what they have to say. So Henry says, a heartbeat problem. Thanks for saving me, Gold Hooves. I'll do my best to be of help to you. I need to find the remaining survivors of my expedition before the ogres sacrifice them for their dark ritual. I saw one of the survivors being dragged away by some harpies. They have a roost to the north. Keela and I will meet you up there with a scouting report. And then the quest objective is meet Henry Garrick near the harpy roost. So we're going to accept it. They're going to do what the other guys did, which is run up the hill.
Right.
And I'm going to follow them.
Yep.
And you see they fade off a little. Go ahead.
The gold diamond means that's where the roost is.
Yep.
Okay.
So I just kind of run up.
Oh, that's good. Good boy.
And there's another. Now I'm looking at my map, and there's another little quest here, and I don't know what this is. So we're gonna investigate this.
Oh, okay.
A little bit of a surprise. I don't know.
You saw it on your little map.
I did. Oh, look at that. I don't have no idea what that is. Genuinely, I don't know why this is here. I thought this was a paladin quest thing. But we're going to come up and see. So this is like a weird creature of light that appears to be trapped by these green hands. But he has see how he has a quest, but it doesn't have the shield on it? So this is a side quest. I'm going to
Right.
talk to him and see what happens. Freeing the light. You are not in league with the ogres. Please, you must aid me. I have been bound against my will by dark magic. I ask only that you free me. Take a piece of my light and use it to dispel the necrotic energies that are keeping me captive. Cool. All right. Sounds good to me. So see this little thing with the circle with the 3 ellipses? That means the quest is in progress. So now I have a side quest, and it's I'm going to change my click so that I'm highlighting this as opposed to the harpy problem quest. Again, you probably can't read that, but I'm switching quests that I'm doing right now. And so now it wants me to go over here. And I know I'm supposed to interact with this because it's got that yellow glow around it.
Right.
And then I click it, and it gives me a little cast bar. Oh, and I purified it, so now it's got golden light energy around it. So now we're going to go to this next one. And see when I mouse over it, it changes into that, as opposed to the select button. It turns into that like open hand. It's just telling me that this is something that I can interact with if I'm close enough. And I got to do a 4th one. Here we go. Oh, there we go. And those pillars are definitely doing something. Oh, there we go. They dispelled the hands that were holding him. So now the quest is complete. So now I'll talk to him. You have my thanks, Gold Hooves. I must leave this world, but I wish you luck. Take my blessing. May it aid you against these monsters. The following will be cast on you, and it says Light's Speed. The light spawn blesses you, granting you a 60% speed boost for the next 10 minutes. So I'm going to get a little bit of experience, but it means I'm going to walk a lot faster for 10 minutes. So now you see me, I'm kind of trucking.
Yeah.
That's cool. And that's going to happen sometimes. You're going to fight monsters, complete quests, and they might give you, some of them will give you gear, but sometimes they'll give you like a temporary pump.
Ooh, shortcut. You took a shortcut.
I did. Yep. And here we go. Now we found
Here's
Henry.
you guys. Yep. You caught up with him.
And here's the there's a bunch more people here. So that's that druid. And then there's a warrior that we saw a little while ago, and this hunter guy. And so now I'm here with Henry. It seems the harpies are up to no good. We'll need your help with this. Well, I'm the guy for the job. And now we got 2 quests. So the rescue of Meredy Huntwell. Our expedition's mage, Meredy Huntswell, is being held by the harpies. We've got to stop the ritual and rescue her. You lead the charge. Keela and I will back you up if things look dire. And then so we're going to rescue her from a necromantic ritual. Then the next one is the harpies' totems are scattered throughout the area. Harpies are known for using their magic to corrupt those nearby. Even now, I can hear foul whispers in the air. We have to destroy their totems before any of us are tainted by the dark. And she has another quest for me.
Wow.
The harpies are preparing for a dreadful assault, Gold Hooves. They plan to attack our allies back at camp. Harpies swoop in and snatch their victims before bringing them back to their nests to feast. We have to stop them, slay the harpies and their wargs to ensure the forces are too weak to stage an assault. So this is just a kill quest. You just go get them. So I have 3 to do. They're all in the same area. So this is very common, where you'll be like, oh, it's a new quest spot. Pick up all the quests, and a lot of times they'll overlap. So this is one of the totems, right? And so I can walk up to it, and I can set it on fire. We're getting rid of that. And so what I'll do, since all the quests are in the same space, one of them I have to go to a specific person. So I'm going to like start working my way towards them and just do all the stuff.
Do everything on your way.
Yeah, just do everything on my way.
You have to get rid of these totems. Is that the deal?
Yep,
So you're setting them on fire, and that'll get rid of them. Gotcha.
And so whenever you're doing like the interact action, it'll be whatever is relevant for the quest. Sometimes interacting is it's context sensitive, right? Like, so in this quest, interacting with these things burns them. There are other ones that open chests or open doors or, whatever.
Okay. So you did not shoot fire at that totem.
I did
You
not.
approached that totem and it exploded in fire.
Yep.
Okay.
I more
Okay.
or less just farted around with it. So,
Right.
we
Well,
got
I just want to know because I wouldn't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know which one to use, and it's good to know that I don't need to know which one to use.
You don't, because there are classes that don't have any fire at all, and like a warrior could come in and they would do the exact same thing. They would just set
Okay,
it up.
gotcha.
So we do know what these purple things are. We like this stuff.
They're treasures.
You don't want to
That's
miss
a treasure
this.
chest.
Darn right. So we're gonna get it, and now this is kind of neat. We're gonna look in our bags. We actually got a potion, which is like in an emergency, you can take a drink and it'll restore 60 HP, which is pretty impressive because I only have 200. So that's pretty good. And I do have some bracers that I could put on now. So I got those as a reward. And I have a stitched cloth tunic that I can put on over my mage robes instead of my mage robes. And so when I do that, it actually changes my outfit. So now instead of a robe, I'm wearing a shirt and pants. So like the stats are a little bit better, but what it does is when you change your armor, it will, it changes on your body.
Gotcha.
So you know how I took that chest? It
Yep.
still exists in the world for everybody else. So I
Right.
didn't steal that from any of these other players. They can all go.
Right.
So I'm giving these guys a minute because they're obviously like, killing everything. And so I am going to go get this other, I'm looking around. Oh, yeah, they killed him before I could get to him. And that's okay. They'll respawn pretty quickly. So I'm going to go get this. I'm going to deal with this. Now he's waiting a little. Oh, there it is. He actually did me a favor. He waited until I got my cast off and then threw his ability. So we both got to attack the monster and we both got credit for the kill. That's one of those things that like good players will try to do.
Right. I was
If
going to
we're
say
all-
that's got to be a learned activity. That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because we, in general, we don't want to compete. We want to get our stuff
Sure.
done, right? Like we want to play the game and complete our quests. But if we can not get in the way of other people,
Right.
we'll do that. So there is a sense of like good sportsmanship and teamwork.
Right.
And I think good sportsmanship is a big piece of it. Not everybody does it. I'm sure watching, she can confirm like there's some folks that aren't terribly good sports, but in general, people that try to be friendly will take turns killing them on, like, let's say there's one monster, we'll either take turns or
Oh my
we'll kind of
goodness.
gang up on it.
That harpy died hard.
Well, you're a mage, right? You do a lot of damage. And one frostbolt is enough to do more than half of their damage or half of their life total.
Right. And you like the frostbolt because it stops them in their tracks, and the fire doesn't. They can keep
Correct.
coming at you with the fire.
Correct.
Okay.
And I can just cast as many frostbolts as I have mana, because the frostbolts don't have a cooldown. Whereas right now, the fire blasts, they're on a 14-second cooldown. So it'll be a little bit different when I have a fireball.
Okay.
And what's really going to be interesting is in a few levels, we're actually really close. We're actually going to be able to choose a specialization. We're going to be able to choose, do we want to be a fire mage? Do we want to be a frost mage? Or do we want to be an arcane mage? And that's going to change what abilities
Boy.
we have. And it's a big choice. At the end of the day, got to get rid of this guy.
Wow.
And help our friends. And so we're all fighting it. See, this warrior kind of grabbed it
Yep.
and is fighting him. Because this guy's big.
Yeah.
And I'm going to wait a second and let that warrior do his thing. This thing's big. We got the druid helping. that was been over there. We got this hunter guy that was, that was shooting guys in the back.
Wow, look at that.
It was like a whole
So do you
team
all
of
get
people.
the experience points?
Yeah, we all got credit for it. Everybody did what we needed to do, and that's another thing that happens. Some of the monsters that come up, I'm gonna get out of here before it pops back. But some of the monsters are just too tough to take by yourself, and so
Right.
you'll need a group, and that's okay. We have another one of those ogres that's a little out of place. I'm gonna mess this guy up. So from a distance, we frost him, right? And then I hit him with the extra spell, and boom, he's dead before he even got to me. That's why I want to use frost to begin with. So, and then we get another bag.
Wow.
Pretty cool. So one of even if we are a fire mage, there's still reasons to use frost, the frost bolt, because of what it does.
Oh, you don't, when you make your choice, you don't lose the other ability.
Some of them, sometimes you do. But in this case, the frost bolt is like core to the class. So
Gotcha.
no, you wouldn't lose that. It's more about there are spells that you don't learn if you switch specs. If you're a frost mage and you choose that, when you get higher level, you get an ability to make a giant icicle and throw it at guys. You don't get that if you're a fire mage, but if you're a fire
Gotcha.
mage, you can get a spell that has a really, really long cast time, but it throws the moon worth of fire at them and does a ton of damage. So those are the choices that you make where it's different
Gotcha.
spells. So Heartbeat Culling, I finished that quest. That should keep our camp safe for now. We must hurry and stop whatever these ogres have planned. I'm gonna complete that. And then Merity, we saved the mage. You rescued me from a grim fate. Being a practicing mage, I always figured one of my own spells would do me in, not a heartbeat. We saved you. And boom, we're level 9. And Henry Garrick, the foul magic of this area is dissipating. I think we're safe for now. And we're going to use another level. And now it wants me to go back to Captain Garrick, which we will do. And I got a belt, which is and I think and I'm going to get new pants when I get back to base. So
Whoa.
head back to base. Remember, that was my blink. And now you see, that I have that diamond off.
You know your way back to base without even looking at the map?
Well, I've leveled a dozen characters here, but also we had that little diamond off in the corner.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of know. But I've
Okay,
also done
okay.
this content a lot. So yeah, I will try not to just automatically just kind of go on autopilot, but that is something that happens with this game.
Yeah, I'm
Kind
sure.
of know where to go.
I'm sure.
So we're back. We've rescued some people. So the camp is getting kind of big.
Yeah.
And Captain Garrick has a quest for me. I'm relieved you rescued Merity. That's one more life saved and one fewer sacrificed. And I'm glad to see you helped Henry get back to his old self. We'll work with Merity to figure out a plan of action. Cool. And I'm going to complete this quest. I'm going to get some XP and a new pair of pants. See how I said that most of the treasure that I'm getting, most of the equipment I'm getting, I get from doing quests?
Yeah.
And now I have all these, and that's generally speaking how it works. So now I talk to Merity. You got some good spells for a novice mage. You might even be as good as I am one day, but you don't know Polymorph. How could you not know that? Polymorph's one of a mage's most useful spells, and I can teach it to you if you can find my spell book. Last I saw, the ogres threw my book in the lake. To get my book, go get my book, and I'll show you how to cast Polymorph. So I have to go recover Merity Huntswell's book at the bottom of a nearby lake. So I know
Mary's
where it
last
is.
name is.
I'm sorry?
Mary's last name is what?
Merity Huntswell is her name.
Okay.
I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So she's
Okay.
a
Merity
cool little dwarf.
Oh, she's cute.
She is.
Okay, we
She
got to
got-
go find her book.
She got,
And her
a,
book is
she
in
got
the
a little
lake.
bit of an undershave like my sister.
Yeah.
I like to think that Katie would wear skulls on her shoulders if she
Yes,
were
of course she would.
a wizard. And
You're
so
blinking to make her jump, right?
Well, I'm blinking to make her go faster because it just
Right.
gets me where I gotta go. I don't
That
have a
tells you
mount
that's
yet,
where the
so-
book is?
Yep, that's where the book is. So now we're gonna jump in the water, and you can swim.
Oh my God. Look at that.
And now here's the thing: you look and see up here. That's my breath, because you can't stay underwater forever,
Of course.
unless shenanigans.
Yeah.
Like the Horde have a race called the Undead. They're the Forsaken, and you saw some of them in that cinematic, and they can be underwater for twice as long because they don't have to breathe. So I got her spell book, and like there's a special helmet you can get later in the game. It's like
Did you acquire the spell book just by being on top of it? Or
I
did you have to
clicked it.
take some action?
I had to take some action, so I had to mouse over it and I clicked it. I was just yapping about swimming.
Okay. Mouse
It was
over
down
it
here.
and click.
And
Okay, I
clicked
just
on it. Yep. For the most part, that's how you pick stuff up.
okay.
Is you go to it, you mouse over it, you click it.
Okay, got it. Well, I think I've got it. I'm trying really hard.
Well, you've got it as much as you need to. Yeah, and Maurice said it. The mouse icon, like this mouse, it will change if you can interact with something. And so, for the most part, that's what you do. Like, there are some things that you can walk over, but most of the time, you have to click it. And the mouse is really good about telling you. Yeah, and Marie's right. There's sometimes where it will turn into like a gear. We'll show you. It will. Remember, you are level 8 with me at the keys and have never played. You've played maybe 3 video games in your life. So
Right.
there's a lot to take in with an MMO. A lot of this comes in kind of naturally to me, but again, I've been playing this longer than I've had kids.
Well, 2 observations. One is how lucky am I to have 2 experts helping me learn, and 2, the thing I like about this game is it doesn't feel time sensitive. I don't feel rushed. Like it feels like I have a couple of seconds to make a decision. I don't have to act really fast. Is that true, or
Right
is that
now,
just
yes.
right now?
It will get a little bit faster, and there are some kinds of content where you got to move a little quicker, and we'll show you. But for the most part, yeah, you have some time.
Good, because
So,
that's a good way to learn.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's also exactly why the Exiles Reach is designed the way that it is.
Okay.
They really want you to. Exiles Reach is designed specifically to like show you all the mechanics, teach you different kinds of quests. Because you'll notice, like we've had quests where we've had to just go to a guy and talk to them. We've had quests where we needed to. This was this one where we had to go get the book. This is called like
Right.
they call it a
Retrieve
pick up
something.
and deliver quest, where we
Right.
went and picked up a thing and then we delivered it to somebody. And then we had kill quests and we had to kill a boss and we had to interact with stuff. And so we had a vehicle. And so the idea is it's slowly teaching us all the different kinds of stuff. So before it sets us off to Stormwind, because we're done with the tutorial, we have an idea as to all the different stuff. And then we're off to the races to kind of do some crazier stuff. But you don't have to here. Yeah, absolutely. You can read every quest and there's a lot of downtime to kind of figure it out.
Right.
So I'm here. I turn the quest is I hope my book isn't too damaged after sitting at the bottom of the lake. That's true. So we're going to continue. Perfect. Let's see. The page for polymorph is fine. Well, it's missing a few words, but once you know the magic, you can skip over most of this. Here, I'll teach it to you and I'll show you how it works. So she's going to teach me polymorph, which is a new spell, which is something only mages can do, and it's actually kind of awesome. So I'm going to complete it. So she's going to teach me the spell, and there she turns me into a sheep. And so you might be saying to yourself, what the heck? How is that useful? So if you remember a few of those times where there were like 2 guys, and if I hit one, I might get the other one to pay attention to me.
Yep.
They might both chase me. Well, I could turn one of them into a sheep, and then I can fight his other friend, and the sheep will just stay a sheep until his other friend is dead, and then I can go back to the first guy. So this is another way that mages have like a tricky way to limit enemies being able to kind of crowd in on.
Right.
You know what I
And
mean?
is sheep the main thing that you change him into?
Sheep is the default. Later
Okay.
on, you get the ability to like switch what you turn it into. Like there's there's like books that you can buy to change it, but it's all cosmetic. At the end of the day, they just turn into a harmless little critter that like
Okay.
kind of walks around. So like sheep
Okay.
is the default, but like
Okay.
there's a book that makes it so you can turn them into a penguin or a duck, a monkey. You know, but for the most part, it's all the same.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right, so now it wants me to practice. So I'm not going to send you off without showing you how to properly use it. You want to cast it. If you get yourself into a situation where two foes are fighting you at once, Cole and I will spar with you a bit to make sure you know what to do. So we're going to practice using Polymorph against Merity and Private. So I am ready, although I
Okay.
am not actually because I didn't get it out of my spellbook. That was dumb, Steve. So here they are. Where are they? All right,
You
they're
took
gonna
it out
run
of your
off
back and put it on your action bar, right?
Yep, I took it out of my spell book. This is my spell book that shows all the
Right.
spells that I know. And all right, they're going to run off into this field. And so now I'm going to target Private Cole. I don't want to hit my mage friend. That's not cool. I mean, I could.
Yeah, right.
But I'm going to get him, and then I'm going to cast Polymorph. Oh, he's a sheep.
That is adorable. And he's a sheep for
A minute.
a minute. So long enough for you to kill the other guy.
Yep. But, and this is the lesson to be learned here, if I hit him, he unsheeps.
Okay.
Like you break that if you
Okay.
hit them. So you don't necessarily want to use it if there's only one guy.
Right.
You can, but it doesn't really help unless
Right.
you need a sec. You know, there's
Right.
you'll have your own strategies. In general, what Polymorph does is it kind of reduces the crowd.
And you're using up some kind of energy when you
Yep.
use it.
Yes.
So is the energy you're using up, is it mana?
Yeah, mana. Mhm.
Mana. Okay.
Yeah, mana. I'm sure it's mana, and I'm just pronouncing it wrong, but I've called it mana forever. So I think you got the hang of it. Cast Polymorph if you get yourself in over your head. Fair enough. Take my lots of XP. Oh, we're almost level 10.
Your bar is getting full. What do you do
Yep.
when your bar gets full?
Well, when this bar gets full, it just starts
Yep.
over again, and I get to level 10. So right now, I've got just this little tiny bit right here before I end up getting level 10. So I'm going to meet Captain Garrick outside of Dark Maul Citadel, which is that off in the distance. That's where the trolls are. So now I'm off to the races. I'm going to take a little walk, but we do know that there is a side quest over here to fight something. So we're going to go take a look and see what that is. I can see there's a side quest here, and it's a danger sign. You see a crude sign made by ogres. It contains a warning: Big Bear bad. Big Bear guard big ogre treasure. Kill after ritual, get treasure, and make more power. Okay. And this is what he looks like. It's a big,
Wow.
like really scarred, angry bear named Killclaw. And I'm going to go try and kill him. Might be hard. Because I am a mage and he is a bear. But, meh.
You're a brave mage.
I'm a brave mage, and also, you know, video games are free. There's all sorts of dead bodies all over the place, though. This bear is absolutely messing people up. Look at all these dead ogres.
Yeah.
But somebody already killed Killclaw. So I'm going to back up a little bit because he just respawned. And I don't want to be caught unaware. So I'm going to back up and let him kind of pop back. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
And look, he's got an ogre like axe stuck in him. That's how tough he is. So now I'm going to wait. And let's go. I'm going to hit him with a frostbolt. And another frostbolt. And another one. Oh, there's the warriors there. They're helping me. Oh, there we go. The guys that killed him the first time, they must have gone into the cave. And he cheered at me, so you gotta cheer.
Woo! Yahoo!
Because that bear was getting pretty close. And then my buddies
Yeah,
came
no
out of this
kidding.
cave and they helped me out. I was very kind. And again, that happens a lot, right? You know, if you're in the world,
He cheered for you and you cheered back.
yep, because we're being friendly. And he saw that I could use some help, and he helped. And that's something that players will do, right? If I'm out
Yeah.
and I see somebody,
A treasure
fighting
chest.
something. What'd you say?
A treasure chest.
Yep. And this one has a quest marker on it, so you don't want to miss this. And this one is kind of cool because it's shoulders. We haven't had any shoulder armor yet. Oh, there we go. Now we got some interesting stuff. So now we are level 10, which does a bunch of different stuff. So I'm gonna get the bear's here. You know what I'm gonna do though? I'm gonna turn invisible. So I hit that, and now the whole world changes. This is how I know I'm invisible. And see how the bear, he can't see me?
Right.
I'm out of here, buddy. And this is another way that mages just don't put up with that nonsense. You know, they're trying, mages try and use tricks to stay out of direct confrontation with bad guys whenever possible. Like
But
if
you
were
went
a
after that
warrior-
bear.
Well, I did go after it because I had to complete the quest, but I wasn't trying to fight him again for no reason. So now let's pause for a second because now we've got a bunch of things that just happened. So first,
Okay.
I got shoulders, which are cool. So I got new armor. So let's zoom in and you can see how cool they look.
Ooh.
So World of Warcraft has the jam is the game is about the shoulder armor. Not everybody loves it as much as I do. But they really put a lot of effort into making sure that the shoulder armor looks awesome. Part of that's because it's really visible and it kind of changes the character's silhouette, right? Before you had
Right.
now you've got these cool spiky things. So that's step one is now we got shoulder armor. That's step one. Next, we're level 10, so now we can choose specializations. So these are the three. So Arcane manipulates raw arcane magic, destroying enemies with overwhelming power. And then Fire, you focus the pure essence of fire magic, assaulting enemies with combustive flames. Or Frost, you freeze enemies in their tracks and shatter them with frost magic. So my understanding is that you want to be a fire mage because that's what it showed on the screen. But now here's the cool part. You can change this literally anytime you want.
What? Now, when did I say I wanted to be a fire mage?
Oh, in the very beginning when we were looking at the character because she had fire in her hands. But you could be whatever the heck you want.
Well,
You pick
now
anyone.
that I've learned a little bit, I think that the frost has more potential.
Okay. Let's
I
do
like
it.
I like the way that frost slows people down.
Okay.
The theme here is I like to have a second. I get kind of nervous when things are going too quickly.
I get it.
So-
Well, here's the good news, Mom, is we can change this whenever we want. In fact, we could change this every few minutes. This is not a permanent choice.
Oh, okay.
It's just and there are people that we know, who's watching, we can confirm there are people who, depending on what kind of stuff they're doing later in the game, they'll make changes.
Wow.
And that not everybody, like Marie, she's a hunter, and so she's a beastmaster hunter, which means she's really focused on having cool pets. She has a pair of cool bears that she has named after previous pets that she has had in real life, and they're really important to her, and she really likes them. So she will never change unless the game absolutely forces her to, and even then, she wouldn't do it, right? And when I play my priest, I'm a holy priest because that's the kind of because that's the kind of healing I like to do, right? And so
Right.
I've very rarely changed with that character either. But mages, they have that flexibility if they want it, but it's totally okay. And so I'll pick Frost. So we're going to activate the specialization.
Okay.
It's very dramatic, but so just by picking up the spell, just by picking up the specialization and turning it on, it's going to give us a new thing. And also, I'm going to show you the talent trees. They're going to look really intimidating, but I promise you it's not that bad because number
Okay.
one, the game makes it not crazy, and number two, once I explain it to you, it's a lot simpler than it looks. So these are talent trees. This is a big thing in video games now, where as you gain levels, you earn a talent point, and you just click these boxes and you get new powers. That's really all it means. What's really cool about World of Warcraft is they have this thing called the starter build, and I'm going to turn that on to simplify it. And what it does, it'll just tell you what to do. And the starter build is meant to be very basic. And so the idea is, you just spend the points, and every time you gain a level, you can come back and buy these points. And so what's neat is this tree on the left, this one, every specialization of mage shares this tree. It's the same for all of them. And it's this one that is different. And so as we get points, it'll go back and forth. And it gives us new abilities. It changes the way abilities work. It makes them more powerful. And this is kind of how you get more powerful as the game goes. For the most part, I'll explain it when it matters, but we just got 2 new spells. One of them is called Ice Barrier. And what it is it's every 25 seconds, I can cast this, and it puts a shield around you made out of ice that will protect you from damage. It absorbs damage, and also anybody that hits you with like a sword actually gets their movement speed reduced by 50%. So if somebody comes in and hits you, it'll bounce off the shield, freeze them, and then you can run away, which is awesome. And this next ability is called Ice Block. This one has a 4-minute cooldown, but what it does is it just freezes you in ice and makes you invincible. So if something bad is about to happen, you could cast this, and like maybe, there's a bunch of different reasons why you would use this. And so we'll throw this onto our bars. But you'll notice I'm full up. So now we have another thing we get to think about, which is, I can't open it yet. Can't add new bars yet. So what am I supposed to do? You know what? We can take the conjure element thing out because I can always just go into my spell book and cast it from it. The spell book is right here. So whenever I need to cast cookies, I can also just cast stuff from it. So we'll go with that. Not the end of the world. Now I'm going to move stuff around so I can put these new spells on my bar. Oh, okay. Marie's confirming you can't enter the edit mode until I leave the starter area. That's smart because they don't want.
Excuse me. You can't edit the board until what?
Until I leave the starting area, like this zone. So we're close, but yeah, I can't add new bars or whatever. So now it's extra crowded, but that's okay. Thanks, Marie. I'm really glad that Marie's here.
Me too.
Because gives me a little bit of backup when my brain breaks. And I get to see Marie in 3 hours.
Oh, is she going to be where you're going?
We're going to play Dungeons and Dragons this afternoon.
Very cool.
Yep, I'm pretty excited. So, all right behind their eyes, we need to get inside Dark Maul Citadel and rescue the captain of the expedition and stop the Ogre Necromancer behind all of this. Merity is going to cast an illusion to make you look like an ogre, and you're going to take us all in as prisoners. The plan is inventive, but it's the best way to get us behind enemy lines. Speak to Merity when you're ready for her to cast the spell. She assures me the effects will be temporary. We don't want to look like an ogre forever. So, and I'm going to accept the quest. And so now I'm going to talk to Merity, and I'm going to say, I'm ready. Transform me into an ogre, and I'll sneak into their citadel. So I do it. And then she's going to start casting magic, and the druid is going to help.
Oh, jeez.
And look how they're all attached to it.
I'm not a good-looking ogre.
I mean, you know what? It's a pretty good-looking ogre. I think ogres are just, you grade on a curve, and see how they're all attached to me by chains? We're doing that trope where it's like, oh, this is a prisoner. Let me through. And see how, since I am an ogre, I'm in the disguise, all these guys are green, which means they're friendly to me. So they don't think I'm a bad guy, which is good. So I can just sneak right past them. So,
wow.
Let's see here. And let's see here. And now what it wants me to do is walk into the ogre cooking area, and you see they're having a cooking area, right? Table with a bunch of stuff. And now my next thing is it wants me to wave to Gorgoroth. So this is technically where the game teaches you about those emotes, the things where you can type stuff. So I'm gonna click on Gorgoroth, so he is selected, and I know he's selected because I have this green circle around him. And then I'm gonna type /wave just like I did, and I'm gonna wave at him, and then he's gonna wave back. Take them to the back. We'll seal them within the ward stones like we did their leader. Oh, did. Now I know I got some extra secrets. So now, now it wants me to do another one, and now this is funny. I haven't done this yet. An optional thing is I want to /dance while in the cooking area. I didn't tell you that we could dance yet, Mom. So
I didn't know I could dance.
Well, now I wanted to wait because I knew this was coming because Now I don't know if you know Saturday Night Live, and also all the ogres are dancing with me. I don't know if you recognize this dance, but do you recognize the Chris Farley Chippendales dance?
I certainly do. I can picture you and Mike doing it if you want to know the truth.
I mean, that's a visual I don't think anybody needs. So, Maria's, I'm pretty sure, dying at her keyboard. I'm never going to hear the end of that. Thanks,
You're
Mom.
welcome.
So every race and gender has their own dance, and they're all based on different stuff.
So that's an ogre dance?
That's the ogre dance.
Okay, so mages dance differently?
Well, Draenei dance differently. I'll show you now.
Oh, okay.
So female Draenei, this is how they dance.
Oh yeah, that's so me.
Well,
Yep, you're right. That's better. Like it.
So that's and so like male night elves do a Michael Jackson dance, and
Really?
male orcs do the MC Hammer dance. The can't touch
Unbelievable.
this. And so that's like whenever they put a new race in the game, like one of the big questions, like, okay, what do they dance like? And it's a little bit more complicated now because of the whole Fortnite thing and all those lawsuits, so they don't dance like other people.
Oh yeah.
But right beneath their eyes, we're close to stopping all of this. We just need to push a little further. So we're going to go. Oh, wow. We got 3 quests. So I'm going to accept all of these.
Do you need to go back to being an ogre?
No, I do not. I finished that part.
Okay.
So basically, I'm going to move a little faster now just because I'd like before this session is over to finish, to get to Stormwind.
Okay.
But so I'm not going to read these quests if that's okay. But basically, this one, she wants me to blow up 4 catapults in the city. And next, Henry wants me to kill 8 ogres. Sure, buddy.
8
no problem.
ogres?
8 ogres.
Okay.
And then Captain Garrick wants me to recover ward stones from Jugnug, Bug, and Grunk. So 3 like specific NPCs, 3 specific bad guys. So now I'm going to head back into the base, into the fortress where I just walked through, where they were all friendly, and now they are very much not. And that's okay, because I am a powerful frost mage. So I cast my little frost barrier. See, I got a shield of ice around me, and that is Wug. So now we're going to get him. Not a thing he can do about it. And I got a ward stone. You see the little notification at the top of the screen. You can't read it, but it did say that I got the ward stone that I needed from him. So now we're going to head down here. And I'm going to skip those stairs because I know I don't want to get into the. I don't want to fight this group because there's a lot of them, and I would really like to avoid it. So we got another guy. He's sleeping this time.
Okay.
And I'm going to recast my shield. Now you'll notice as I cast these frost bolts, see how these little 5 icicles form over my head? See these things? Do you see that, Mom?
Yep.
So one of the things that it doesn't matter a lot now, but as I get more powerful, I'm going to get another spell that makes it so that I'm going to cast my frost bolts and build up these 5 icicle like missiles over my head. And then I'll cast another spell that will do its own thing and then fire off all 5 of those. So then from there on, I found a necklace. So now I'm going to show that. And so what that'll do is it's called a rotation, where it's like there are certain spells that you just kind of cast in a row. So I just got a necklace, which is another piece of magic equipment that I can put right on my neck. And it gives me more stats, which is great. We like that. And so now I got to get rid of this catapult, and I put a bomb on it and blew it up. And again, it was just because I interacted with it. So now I'm going to move. I want to avoid this camp. I think I could take them, but I really just don't want to. I want to avoid the combat when I don't need to. I have to kill 8 ogres, but like I'd rather fight them one at a time. And look, there's this whole crew. These must be friends because they're just kind of chilling.
People that know each other in real life.
Or are people who met in the
Oh,
game.
yeah, right.
But yeah, people who know each other or who have played before.
Right. I guess I guess I didn't mean in real life. I meant they know each other through the game.
Yeah, they know each other. You know, like there will be plenty of times where like Marie and I will be in a group doing stuff together.
Right.
And so now there's Grunk. Oh, I forgot to recast my shield. Yeah. And then we're just going to get him. I think he's going to get to me. Oh, wait. Here. And then I use the counter spell. You know how he was casting a spell and then I hit something? Yep. So I turned off his spell. If they're a wizard and they're casting spells, you want them hitting you with a stick versus them casting your spells. You know what I mean? Like if I can make a wizard run up on me, and I'm going to go get this treasure because I don't want to miss out. If you can make a wizard run up and hit you with a stick, yeah, it's still going to hurt, but like it's going to hurt less. You know? And so, again, it's kind of part of the strategy. So I opened that quest. There was nothing in it that was of value to us. It's kind of funny. Ogres are dumb. So they have a treasure chest full of these items that are all gray, and that means they're just junk to sell. But
they're nothing. Right.
I got the experience, so I don't care. I'm never going to skip a treasure chest if I can. So here we go. We got more guys. Ooh, I killed him.
Oh, bonk. He's sparkly. What? Did you just go buy a sparkly guy?
No, I searched it.
Oh, okay. You were so quick, I didn't see it.
It is pretty quick. I don't think he had anything on him, actually. Or
I don't think so either. I didn't see anything.
So now, I just got to kill ogres. So I'm going to get this guy and the guy inside. And then we are going to go back where we came.
Ooh.
Oh, I got out of the way.
Bonk.
Frost Nova. Yep, there we go. And so here we go. Now we just do it again. Here we go. Now, one thing that's really interesting, and I actually thought of you when they announced it. This is no joke. They announced it like the day we had our first stream, maybe the night before. But they actually are adding an accessibility option to the game that will make it so that if you're playing your class, you can just make it so that you can make so that for mages, you know, how I talked about a rotation where there's, you know, a bunch of spells and you're eventually gonna have like 4 or 5 buttons to move around. They actually have it so that you can make it so that you just push one, and it'll go through the rotation for you automatically. And there's a little bit of a penalty in that it takes a little bit more time to do it, right? So it's
Right.
still better to like learn your stuff.
Right.
But you know, for folks that maybe don't that want to spend less time thinking about stuff like that and just want to hit one button and kind of experience the world, that ability is just going to be such a cool accessibility feature.
Right.
And so I was thinking of you, that like if you ever played this game, that would be something. Now I need more ogres, so I'm actually gonna have to mess with this group. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna turn that chef into a sheep, and now I'm gonna mess with this group.
You're gonna.
I turned the chef
Okay. Right. You
Into a
used
sheep.
your whatever
polymorph. Yep.
polymorph.
We, in short, we actually just call it sheeping.
Okay.
And so he's
Well,
still
now
a
that I
sheep.
know that sheep is just default, I know.
Yeah. So now he's still a sheep. I still got a few seconds.
Right.
So I'm gonna, and there we go. And so now I'm gonna hop up on this table like I'm a gangster.
You have like one sheep at a time is all
Yeah.
you can do?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the most. If I sheep somebody else, it would unsheep the first guy. And,
Okay.
I mean, there are circumstances where you may do that, like if you sheep the wrong guy or something like that.
Right.
But for the most part, you want to get it right.
Bonk.
And
So
the
you were
advantage,
able to kill them all.
I was, yep, because
You
I
need
sheeped
8?
the one.
Is that what you said?
I
You
do.
need
I
8?
need 8, and those were the 3 that I needed. That's why.
Okay.
That's why I figured. You know what? Let me just. I could have gotten this guy for one of them, but you know, I figured I'd just get those 3. And the
Wait,
reason I
3
could is that one of them was asleep. So one guy was asleep, and again, that was set up specifically to
Right.
teach you. Oh, all right. So there's a big group of enemies. That's really intimidating. But if I shoot one, specifically the one that was like walking around a lot, I sheeped him, and then I killed one guy, and then I killed the sleeping guy, and then by the time I was done, the sheep guy was up, and then I could take it.
Perfect. Yep, I
So-
totally get it.
Like,
I totally get it. Now we know is this drawing life force out of people? This green.
yeah, this Captain Kira, the captain, is kind of stuck, and so we want to save her. That's the captain of the expedition that was here before us. So now I've got all these quests complete. I'm not going to read their "good job, buddy," because that's basically
Okay.
what they say. But I'm going to take this, and it's going to level me to 11. And then I'm going to talk to Henry, and I'm going to get new gloves, and he says, "Thanks, we got to fix this." And I do have a new talent point, so we're going to do that. So now this is neat, right? So now we have a new talent point, and we get Ice Lance. So what Ice Lance does
Lance. Okay.
is I fling a shard of ice at a target, dealing 41 frost damage, which is good. But the damage is tripled against targets that are frozen. Now, there's going to be ways where I'm going to be able to freeze enemies. And so now it's like, okay, so I have this really cool spell. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put Ice Lance on. Temporarily, I'm going to get rid of Arcane Intellect, because I only have to cast that once an hour, right?
Right.
And I can cast it out of my spellbook. In fact, I can give myself a new bar in like 5 minutes. So that is that. And so you see how the talent, I gained a level, it gave me a talent, I clicked the thing, I got a new ability. And then I close it. And so now I have one more quest to do, which is I have to interact with these ogre rune stones to free the captain. 1, 2, and 3. And see how the lines stop? Now she's free. Oh, she's a Draenei just like us. And so now she has a quest. And I'm going to... so these were the stones used to bind me. The ogres clearly were concerned about me thwarting their plan. They should be. I'm a problem. And then she says, thank you, gives me some experience. Now, we're going to do something crazy. We're going to go into a dungeon. This is going to be wild. So, Gorgroth plans to raise a powerful dragon, Ravnir, from the dead. He conducts the dark ritual atop this citadel. You have stymied his efforts by saving me and my crew. You have to storm the Citadel and stop him from completing the ritual. His dark magic is an affront to the light. You will need all the help we can get. Gorgoroth's most elite lieutenants await. So now the quest objectives: complete the Dark Maul Citadel. So now this is where it gets a little interesting. I am going to, let's see. So I have to go into this dungeon, and dungeons are things that you cannot do alone, right?
Okay.
So far, we saw some people group up, right? That
Yep.
was not required because you saw they were doing it as a team, and that's because they were farting around, they were having fun,
Right.
They were probably on a chat just like us, talking about stuff. Probably making some inappropriate jokes if I know gamers, right? So probably not comparing their sons to Chris Farley, I'm guessing. However,
Sorry.
that's okay. It's still funny. And Marie's going to laugh about that for probably a year, I think, maybe even longer. She's
Out of love, Steve. Out of love.
She's going to be asking me to do the Chris Farley dance at Megan's wedding. So
Dungeons are different than that big thing. There was one point where my gold hooves had to go down deep to save somebody from the bottom.
Yeah,
That wasn't a dungeon.
It was not. So a dungeon is a specific kind of content. And
Okay.
one of the things you can do is you can't actually walk in there for this one. You actually need to what's called queue into it, which is
Okay.
It's called an instance. And what an instance is in an MMO is it is like a separate part of the game. It kind of loads you in somewhere separate, and you are not visible to everybody else, and it's very limited. And so, yeah, Marie says she's going to. Both of us are going to be at Gettysburg in a couple of weeks. She's going to demand to see it. Thanks, thanks, Marie. I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. But I mean, I'll do it if I have to. And so, what I did is this is a menu which you bring up by hitting this little eyeball icon, which you probably can't see. And then it says Dark Maul Citadel here, and I click it and I hit Find Group. So now I'm queued. You heard a little noise. And then this little eyeball shows up and says you're queued for an activity. And so now I can enter it. And now what this is going to do is it groups me up with 5 random players somewhere in North America. So I'm in a group. I'm going to be in a group very soon.
So what happens? These people were also in queue waiting?
Yeah. And so we're going to wait.
We're all in queue. And so when there's enough people, they just put them together.
Correct.
So there's probably always at least 6 in queue.
Oh,
If you need 6.
it's 5 specifically.
Oh, 5.
And there are probably thousands
Okay.
of people. Now,
So you don't
in
have to
this
wait.
case,
Okay.
I don't
That's
have to
cool.
wait. Yeah, so I'm kind of by myself right now, but the NPCs are helping me. So I'm just going to sit back and let Henry and Captain Garrett mess up these guys. Now, you see how when I click on this guy, he's got this dragon thing on his side? See how he's got this dragon? What that means is the way that what that differentiates him and says about him versus other monsters in the wild is that he's what's called an elite. And so what that means is he's bigger, he has more hit points, he does more damage. And inside dungeons, all of the monsters are elite.
Oh, great.
And so what that's saying is, dude, you can't do this by yourself. Just can't. And you're right.
No, but you appear to be by yourself, though, hon.
Well, I have NPCs that are helping me because apparently there was nobody else in this region. It is Saturday morning. So I am by myself, and I'm a little disappointed that there's no players here with me, but I am being helped by these 2 players, and Henry is a healer.
Oh, gotcha.
And the captain is a tank. So I just get to follow them. It's a little bit of a bummer that I don't have other players to play with. I was hoping we would see it. But, yeah. So they do have like a follower tool that they added. So like if there's not other people or if they all just joined other groups or whatever, these guys kind of do their thing. And I can just follow them. So if there were other players... So Maybe there aren't thousands. But it is also Saturday morning. So, so these guys just do the thing. So now I just help kill these bad guys. And so Captain Garrick is a tank, right? So her job is she's getting in the hit the wrong button. So Captain Garrick is running up to these enemies and like holding their attention, right? And Henry is healing Captain Garrick while they fight.
Oh, okay.
And I sit and I do damage. So like in general, that's like how groups work. You have a tank, and so the captain just said attack first, and then they'll charge in now. Basically saying the game saying, don't worry, buddy, we'll start when you're ready. So he has like a neat special ability called Seismic Slam. When he's doing stuff, I have to move out of the way. And so this is a boss. So he has like some interesting abilities. And so I want to get out of the way so I don't get hit by that wall of rocks. But see how Captain Merrick is like holding his attention, so I'm just able to attack from far away. Like,
how'd you front? Oh.
So he has this thing where he shouts. Oh, we killed him. So he has this thing where he shouts. And if you're casting spells while he is shouting, you get interrupted from your spell and it actually prevents
Okay.
you. So I found a new item. It's blue, so it's better than most things. And it is a dagger. I am going to equip it because it is cool. And it is better than my staff. Oh, and I didn't equip my gloves. What the heck is wrong? So now they're kind of waiting for me. I'm going to run through here, and now we're going to head on up. And now we got more. So now this
So you took off your staff and you added a dagger, and what was the other thing you added?
The other thing I did was I equipped the gloves that I got as a reward for one of those.
Okay.
So now the big guy is up there, and so now you see this dude summoned a bunch of little ones. So I'm going to do this little trick. Hit them all. And do a little bit of damage. And now, let's keep going. And so if we had players, there'd be like, 4 other people running around doing stuff. Oh, now here we go. Now I'm going to do a different trick. I'm going to run up, and I'm going to ice them. So now, they can beat up all they want. I take 0 damage because I'm stuck in a block of ice. And the rest of the team can fight them. And
I told you I like this frost thing.
I mean, listen, I will admit, when you picked Mage, I had a feeling you were going to want to do Frost. But I didn't want to assume,
Yeah. Well, the fire is cool, but the frost seems like it's got a lot more. I like it.
It's got some neat stuff.
Let me, and I understand it, which is a good point for Mom.
Well, in fairness to you, and I say this to Marie sometimes too, it's like, just because you understood the first thing that I taught you doesn't mean that you by default wouldn't understand the other things. Like, if you picked a different class and were like, I want to be a fighter or I want to be a shaman, you would understand how to play a shaman by now. You just would. So,
Well, that's true.
because, but if I decided to make a different character and just be like, all right, now I'm going to show you how to play a rogue, then that would have been confusing because you haven't fully learned this one. But I'm going to give you credit, just like I give Marie credit all the time, and I give Jake credit. And, my wife played this game too. She played a druid for quite some time. And that's a complicated class. She did it. And I'm very confident that she could learn all the other ones. So I killed him. It's like, oh, well, the fight's over, right?
Yep.
Nope. Watch this.
Oh my goodness.
Uh-oh. The dragon's up. I'm
Uh-oh.
gonna put up my shield. Uh-oh. Captain, help me. So, fun thing about dragons. They have breath weapons. So So you don't want to stand in front of their face. You always want to be kind of off to their side because you also don't want to be near their tail. Sometimes they have jerky tail stuff. So you kind of want to be off to the side.
Right.
Here we go.
Whoa.
Move off to the side.
Yep.
I didn't move far enough. I don't want to die. I think I'm going to be okay. Then the wing buffet, that thing knocked us all back. That was no fun. But, so his health bar's up here. You might not be able to see all of it, but the red... I'm
Whoa.
going to blink. And then we're going to just keep shooting. And so the advantage to Mage is I am far the heck away. You know, if you were playing a melee character, you'd have to go right in his face. Oh, there we go. We killed him.
Did you really?
So, yep. I got by with a little help from my friends.
Yeah.
And then, oh, here we go. Now we got the Dark Maul Signet Ring, which is a ring we haven't had yet. So we can put that, and these are ring spots on my finger. So now I can put that on. Gives me a little bit more stats, which is great. And, okay, Captain Garrick says, you should feel proud of yourself, Gold Hooves. We all work together to thwart the plans of an insane necromancer while rescuing a missing expedition. Let's get out of the Citadel. We need to figure out how we're going to get off this island. Let's get out of the Citadel and figure out how to get back home. So I'm going to click it, and it's going to take us out of the dungeon. And we finish the dungeon, so now everybody's going to kind of walk out. And look at this. We got some griffins. From the Wildhammer clan, and we know that because it says Wildhammer clan under that guy's name. The Wildhammer clan is a group of dwarves that are allied with the Alliance, and they're good dudes. And so Captain Garrick has a quest. Things are finally looking up. It's time we returned to Stormwind. So I'm going to complete this quest, gain a level, and I did just get a hood. Got a helmet, which is good. We haven't had one of those yet. And I'll show you what it looks like. So it kind of replaced the jewelry. Because we have this silver crown thing now. So you know how we had the jewelry before? This kind of covers that up. And so now we have a helmet. And we can hide that if we want, but we'll keep it for right now. But I did get another talent point. So we don't want to miss that. So this is this thing that's blinking tells me what to take next, and that's what I'm going to take. And it says it's called Overflowing Energy. Your spell critical strike damage, meaning every once in a while when you cast a spell and hit somebody, there's a chance that it will do a critical hit, which means it'll double damage. Basically. And so your spell critical strike damage is increased by 10%.
Wow.
When your direct damage spells don't crit, meaning if I just do a regular hit, my spell critical strike chance is increased by 2%. So basically, what this ability does is I take it, and now when I do a critical hit, it will do more damage, which is good. And if I don't make a critical hit, it makes it more likely that my next spell will be one. So it just means that more often I will do bigger damage, which is a great thing considering a mage's job is to do damage. And also, one of the things that you've probably noticed is that I cast a lot of like littler spells. Right?
Yeah.
So I have the Frostbolt, but I have the Fire Blast, and I have the Ice Lance. These are instant spells that I can cast right away. And so having the crits is kind of cool because that means I could get more crits. You know? So that's a good thing. Again, that's some higher level strategy stuff, but generally speaking, crits are good. Okay, so it's time for us to head back to Stormwind now that reinforcements have arrived and the storm has passed. You and the other recruits have been invaluable in this operation. Gold Hooves, I'll make sure to include that in my report to the king. Hop on the Griffin and let's go home. So we're almost done. A ride in Alliance Griffin to Stormwind City. So here we are. And this is my Griffin. And now
because he's outlined.
Yep, because he's outlined. And I'm going to do the thing to clop onto him. Now, it gives me a little warning. And this is a cool part of this, because I'm about to leave the starter experience. We're about to get into the real game and actually go to the capital of the Alliance, which is cool. We can wander around there for a little bit and show you. But when I go onto that, it gives you a little warning. You will not be able to return here. Are you ready to continue your adventure in the world of Azeroth? This is just in case maybe there was something else I wanted to do or find or experiment with. But I don't. I'm going to hit yes. I'm going to get on this Griffin, and we're going to go to Stormwind. And then they fly off in formation.
So the people that were on the boat with Golden Hooves saved the people that were there from the previous expedition.
Yep. And
And
now
they're
the
all
wild.
together returning.
Yep. And now the Wildhammer clan came with a bunch of Griffins, and now we
Yep.
are all riding back to Stormwind.
It's
And you
very
see
cool.
the ogres. They're all
Yep.
running away because we just killed their boss at the top of Darkmaul Citadel. So we drove the ogres back. You see them running off into the
Yep,
distance.
I sure do.
Now, are they never going to be a problem again? Probably. They're ogres. They're going to run, hide, regroup, and come back and do stuff. But they are not our problem. We got other stuff to do. This is great timing. We're going to be able to get to Stormwind. I'll be able to do
Yep.
a little bit of stuff there,
It's
and
really
then
good. My laptop is down to 10%.
well, then let's get her all done. Next time we'll make sure that you plug it.
Well,
So-
only because I moved to another room, so I
Yeah.
had to unplug it. Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? We're good. It's fine. It works out, and we'll just be ready for that next time. Because you're right. If we're gonna do this in the morning, Dad's probably gonna wake up in the middle.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
And so here we are.
Stormwind City, capital of the noble.
Oh, look at that.
Though they hail from many different lands, the races of the Alliance convene in Stormwind on matters of trade and diplomacy.
Oh, I love this.
Age-old enemy, the Savage Horde, poses an ever-present threat. But no matter the challenge, the soldiers of Stormwind stand ready to face it, fleeing a distant world overcome by demonic corruption. You and your fellow Draenei have secured a new home among steadfast allies. Azeroth faces countless threats. Bold heroes are needed to rise up and defend her. For the Alliance!
Wow.
And so it's worth mentioning, if you were playing a Horde character, you would have been taken to Orgrimmar, which is the Horde capital, and would have gotten a very different speech about how we're the treacherous alliance and whatever. Because the core of the game is the conflict between our two factions.
Right.
But, and this is important, is that we're not always at war. There's tension. It's a Cold War kind of situation. There's a lot of tension and a lot of, maybe Cold War is not even the right. There's a lot of tension, right? And it's maybe like us in Canada right now. There's a lot of tension, right? And there's a lot of different organizations trying to kind of one up and get positions against each other, right? And so neither side is actually bad at its core. There are obviously bad people on both, in both factions, kind of overzealous alliance people that are really kind of prejudicial against savage races. Sound familiar? The Horde is, they are a group of very different fantasy races, like the Tauren, which are like Minotaur people and orcs and trolls. So they're very different that have all kind of aligned under a common banner to kind of share resources and kind of help support each other. But like among them are some more extreme guys that like don't want peace and harmony amongst their own people. They just want to kind of be in charge of the whole thing. So like there's a lot. And right now, at least in the War Within, for the most part, the Alliance and the Horde are kind of at peace. We're not fighting. So I sent you a trailer for the Battle for Azeroth, which was all about the Horde and the Alliance at war,
Right.
as you saw. And that has chilled a little bit. But it's always, it's Warcraft. So it's always kind of brewing and on the horizon. We're going to do, what's going to happen is this is going to move us into the Dragonflight expansion, which is the one that was right before the War Within. And in Dragonflight, the Horde and the Alliance are largely at peace, also going to a new island filled with dragons, kind of exploring and seeing what's happened there. And we were invited there, and the dragons that were in charge of that island were like, hey, you can come to our island and kind of see what's going on, but if you bring your war to our shores, that's not cool. So we'll see that in a second.
Right.
But I wanted to just kind of show, like, So, I'm going to complete this quest. And I'm going to put on my brand new robe. And I just got the wrap it up symbol from the general. So we're going to do one last thing, and then we're going to call it a day. So we're going to do the Welcome to Stormwind quest. So I'm going to meet with Lyndall Springstock at the city gate. Now we're going to run it, and we're going to get a little tour. So you can kind of see what Stormwind is. But this is the Alliance capital. So we're going to start seeing a lot of players. By the way, I did get a new robe. It's very pretty, and also you'll notice that it matches because this is a set.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to talk to Lindy Springstock, and she's going to send me to the stables to send me to get me a mount. But I am going to follow the motorcycle. I think I might be able to ride it. Oh, well, first we got to ask the guard. So you can talk to the Stormwind guard, and it'll tell you where to go. So, like, this whole list here that you can't read because you're on a little monitor is all the different places that you can go. So in this case, it'll say it's a quest. So I want to go to the Stable Master, and then I hit the map of Stormwind, which is a big city. But look, there's a little red flag here that tells me where I need to go.
Yeah.
So it helps me get around. But so in this case, Lindy's going to give me a ride on the motorcycle.
Cool.
So we got a little sidecar.
Oh, hi.
And I'm going to hop in. So this is a fantasy game, but the gnomes and on the Alliance and the goblins on the Horde use technology. So there's like rudimentary robots and some motorcycles and helicopters, stuff like that. So it has a little bit, and then there's some other stuff that, you know, people that really prefer strict high fantasy, like Lord of the Rings stuff, get a little frustrated with. But so this is Stormwind, and this is the main city, and this is the auction house right over here that I'm mousing over. I spend a lot of time there. And we're gonna drive by. So that's a race called the Drakthir. They can be either Alliance or Horde.
It's so cool looking.
Yeah. And here's what's wild is this city, you know, it only recently got updated. But you know, this was here at launch. So this city is 20 years old. So those of us who have been here, we learned how to travel around this place 20 years ago. So I probably know Stormwind better than I know my hometown. Admittedly, it's this big, and so she's taking me to Old Town to go pick up a mount. Now, the thing is, I already have one, but that's okay. It's kind of giving us a tour. I thought that would be fun. And I'll show you Dragonfly, which is the next thing. So it's bringing me here. It's bringing me to the stables. This is kind of an area out back. See, there's more training dummies back there. So if people wanted to learn the damage. Here we go. I'm going to talk to the stable hand. It's going to give me a golden griffin. But I'll take my experience anyway. And it's going to ask what's my specialty. And then this is where it's going to teach me about combat specializations. I already taught you that, so I'm just going to speed through this. It wants me to talk to Frazzle Frostfingers about specialization. So I'm going to come in here. This is where all the class trainers are. So this guy, he's like the first mage you see. Got some cool shoulders, as you've seen. That's a warlock, by the way. Kind of different kind of wizard. And I am going to talk to him about the specializations. I'm not going to read him because I already gave you the explanation. And the quest is done. Now Lindy goes back. And so now it wants me to go and set what is called my Hearthstone. So this is a different thing. And so basically, you know, this world is huge. When I zoom out, like we're in the Eastern Kingdoms. And so Stormwind is just this little bit. But we have all these different zones. It's huge. You can go all over the place. And so sometimes you just need to get back to your house. And so they have a thing in this game called a Hearthstone, which is literally an object that you keep in your bag that you can click, and it will bring you back to the last inn that you decided was your Hearthstone. So what they're doing is making it so that I talk to her, and I'm going to click a button that says make this inn my home, and I'm going to confirm it. And so now when I use my Hearthstone, which is this little thing in my bags up here, it'll bring me back to her.
Whoa.
And so then I complete it. So now I have a quest that came up called The Dragon Isles Await. And what it does, it wants me to meet this guy named Wrathion in Stormwind. But first, what we're going to do is we'll start that. That'll be the beginning of the next episode. I'm going to edit.
Okay.
So I'm going to overwhelm you a little bit. And I'm going to edit the user interface, because now I can do some stuff.
Okay.
And so what I'm going to do, what this does is it lets you move stuff everywhere.
Okay.
But what's cool, I don't want to keep that. What's cool about this is I can click it. I'm going to put my cast bar underneath my frame. No, I'm not going to do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this 170% bigger. So now, and I'm going to put it right here, I think, so that you can see what I'm at. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the target. Make it 175. So that way, I think you'll be able to see it.
That will really be a big help. I am that last little piece went really quickly for me.
I did
Yeah.
I did mainly because I wanted to get out of there.
Yeah.
But so we're going to call this Nana mode. So we're going to save this layout. And so the next thing we want to do is I'm going to hide the little bar art on the side just because they are unnecessarily busy.
Okay.
And because like you saw how there's like little griffins on the side.
Yep.
They're pretty, but I always get rid of them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on another action bar. And so what that'll do is, and I'm actually going to turn on a third row too. And what that does is that gives us more places to put buttons. And then I'm just going to lower them down a little bit. I just like to have lots of places to put buttons, so you can see what we're doing. And then I'm just going to stack them a little bit different. Now, this is one of those things, like, as you can imagine, there are some folks that go wild.
I can
customizing
imagine
this and like going crazy. And that's okay. But we do not need to do that. I just want to have enough bars so that you can see everything. And then when we come back for our next episode 3 of Pro Gamer Nana Takes Over the World of Warcraft, we will go into Dragonflight and we'll start doing story stuff.
Okay.
Which I think you would like. So now let me save this.
Is that Jenna walking through? It says Jenna.
No, that is Jen Langston, and that is an NPC.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Jenna does not play World of Warcraft right now. Although, you never know. She might. I have a feeling that if we have the whole fam playing someday, maybe she'll join just so that we can all do stuff. What, Jen? Jenna says no.
No, it's not me. It's Megan yapping.
Maggie, what are you yapping about? I'm talking about if Nana wants it. Because then we could have a whole group of me and Jake and Evan and Mom and Nana. How cool would that be?
We could slay dragons
Nana
together.
is literally on this stream with me right now.
Hi, Megan.
Nana says hi, Megan. All right, so so now we have this.
Yeah, right.
And now I'm gonna.
Okay, I can see Stormwind Rat.
Yep.
And Jenna Langston is there. Yeah, I see that.
So you can see
Yeah.
So this looks okay. You can see
It's nice because I can see that. I still can't read. Like if there was a quest that came up, I wouldn't be able to read the quest. I don't think.
I think I can. I will fart around with this, and maybe we'll test off stream because I can increase the UI. My only issue is I'm worried about because I can only there's some that I can only
Sure, you don't want to cover up too much of the screen, right?
Well, also like you can only have so many.
Right.
So okay, so we're good.
We're good.
I want to show you one last thing. And that
I may be
is-
gone at any second. That big blue bar that
Right.
says plug in your laptop.
All right, well,
has been
here's what we're
on.
going to do. Now I'm going to go up and I'm going to show you the whole city from above.
Okay.
That's it. So here we go. Nana, thank you. This was fun.
Beautiful. Look at how beautiful the city is.
Yeah, it's great. And so I'm going to land at the top of this little castle thing. Everybody, thank you for watching. Anna, thank you for playing with me. This is a lot of
Oh my
fun.
Gosh, this
and
is
then
so much fun.
And we'll be back for episode 3 of Nana Takes Over. Pro Gamer Nana Takes Over Azeroth sometime soon. Everybody, have a great day. Talk to you all soon. Bye.
Have a good day.
That was fun, Mom.